How to make a nation dumber. The Russian recipe. Guaranteed results. This is what we'll talk about today. Hello, I'm Elena. Welcome back to my channel Enough of Propaganda. Please like, subscribe, share my channel, write comments if you can. Let's make truth available for everyone. Today will be a little bit more fun video. Not the beginning of it, obviously. But this is not a joke at all. This is not funny. But it's up to you to decide in the end how funny this is. Everything about the Russian wars in Ukraine, 2014 present, from its baseless origin to its disastrous execution, is a masterpiece of stupidity. Unfortunately, other countries and people paying for it, not just Russians. So this is horrific photos from Ukrainian city of Toretsk, dead city which Russia destroyed and killed. This is how it looks now. This is what happened when Russia came to Ukraine, attacked Ukraine. Putin's success is truly remarkable. By doing that, over 845,000 Russian soldiers killed, wounded, or missing in action. The Russian economy is in shambles, and you can learn from it more from my video of this one, for example. Russia now a global laughingstock. NATO stronger than ever, right at Russia's borders. After 10 years of fighting, still no significant objectives achieved, no Kyiv in 3 days. More than that, Russia lost big chunk of territory in Kursk region, which is originally Russian territory, internationally recognized. And now Ukraine, on top of everything, is started another offensive and taking even more Russian territories in Russia, and nothing Putin can do about it. And Putin completely lost hold on Syria and influence in Syria. These are captured Russian soldiers, by the way. So despite of what I just said, fear not. If you too want to replicate Putin's geopolitical genius, I'll present you the Russian recipe for doing so. This is a secret, by the way. Don't tell anybody. Step 1. Establish a sperm bank for the country's dumbest criminals and lowlifes, because these are the ones who is going to Russian SVO, Special Military Operation. Step 2. Mass reproduce idiots. No need to consent. Just force women to give birth. Who will gonna ask women anyways? The idea of creating a sperm bank of the heroes of the special military operation was generated in a public chamber under the president of the Russian Federation. The initiator is a lady named Kolotovkina, Ekaterina Kolotovkina, this woman, who herself undertakes to assist the heroes in the traditional procedure. I was asked on Quora after this post how exactly she gonna do that. I don't know. I presume she might take the bull by the whatever and assist. Think I'm joking. I wish. This is a Russian heroic defender of the motherland who is fighting in somebody else's country for no reason whatsoever. I'm talking about an actual initiative proposed by Russia's public chamber, a sperm bank for heroes of the so-called Special Military Operation, SVO, in Ukraine. And no, this is not coming from a psychiatric ward. This is an official proposal in Putin's Russia.
Представляйся.
Мне, да? Горшков Александр Александрович.
Следующий.
Яфеев Владислав Владимирович.
These are Russian troops captured by Ukraine, telling their names. Given that Russia has been recruiting murderers, convicts, and the lowest of society to fight in Ukraine, the future of Russian genetics has never looked brighter. I can't stop laughing. What woman in normal mind wouldn't like to have a child from this man? Glorious Russian defender of Putin's yachts and palaces. And the cherry on top, Russian fascist philosopher Aleksandr Dugin, who many people are thinking is Putin's philosopher, but he isn't truly. So Dugin has wholeheartedly endorsed this idea. In fact, he has generously offered to contribute his own precious biological material. Now listen carefully. I'm sharing with you Dugin's words of wisdom. It's a quote. This is an existential necessity. The sperm bank of the SVO heroes should be actively used by women of all over Russia. The future of Russia depends on genes. The best part of Russian people has awakened now. Saints, ascetics, warrior heroes. Their bodies die, but their genes are the future. This seed is priceless for our women. Dugin is concerned that only the dumbest of Russians will multiply, so he has heroically volunteered to elevate the gene pool with his own highly intellectual sperm. How generous. These women are, by the way, this is Sobchak. They had a naked party. I had a video about this in a while. So for this elite, so-called Russian elite, could have parties like that. This is what Russian soldiers are dying on the fronts. This is what they're fighting for. Just imagine the long lines of women desperate to conceive a child from a balding old Nazi fanboy who happily sacrificed his own daughter for Putin's imperial war. Ladies, if you're eager to apply, just let me know. I can help you draft a letter to Putin, in Russian of course. No offense, but only women may apply. And more Russian heroes. Let's talk about next step for Putin's government. But before that, I'm kind of wondering, since nowadays Russia, glorious country under Putin's rule, are so successfully fighting in Ukraine that they have to bring donkeys to be used on the front lines. Could these donkeys be considered also a war heroes of SVO, Special Military Operation? I wonder if their gene pool will also be preserved? If this madness continues, what kind of next steps Russian government may take? Forced insemination of Russian women seems like a logical next move. And why not? This woman probably might agree voluntarily. Her t-shirt says «Резня в Буче». Можем повторить. It means massacre in Bucha. We can do it again. How Russians think they look versus reality. And you thought The Handmaid's Tale was just fiction? Think again. For those of you who doesn't know what public chamber is about, the public chamber works on issues of economic and social development, ensuring national security, protecting the rights and freedoms of citizens, the constitutional order and democratic principles of developing civil society in Russia. Wow. There are no laws, no constitution, and no civil society in Russia, that's for sure. So I'm not sure what are they protecting. And if you're thinking I'm exaggerating that they could artificially inseminate Russian women, I'm not. I have lived in USSR. Do you know how many Russian women died from criminal abortions when they were forbidden in Russia because Russian government needs soldiers? There was no condoms in the stores. The first thing when Russian so-called Chelnaki, people who started to go abroad to buy things, bring them and sell them in Russia during perestroika time, the first thing they brought was condoms. Because at some point in time, most of the time in the USSR, you can't really buy them. And they only were sold in the pharmacies. And you can't really buy them because they were gone. Because Russian government, Soviet government, not just Russian, Soviet government, need soldiers. They need cannon fodder. And this is exactly what Putin needs right now. So the next step, Russia is already passing the laws trying to punish people, especially women, who choose not to have children, for example. She's a single woman, she doesn't plan to get married. Oh boy, this is a crime in Russia right now. So the next logical step would be the artificial insemination with the sperm, high quality sperm, of heroes of this special military operation. in Ukraine. Meanwhile, Russia is continuing killing Ukrainians, Putin is continuing killing Russians and destroying Russia, its economy, its people, everything. And I agree with Andrew Chakayan. The Moscow Center terrorist organization, aka Russia, will not stop. We must stop it. The world who could have stopped Russia then, but it didn't. It didn't happen. When Russia destroyed Chechnya, in 2008 it was Georgia, in 2014 Russia attacked Ukraine, in 2022 the war continued and Russia started to do full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and still continues to do it to this day. We need to stop it. We must stop it. We must help Ukraine to stop Putin. Putin will not stop by himself. These are Ukrainian POWs who coming back home after being imprisoned in Russia. Please help Ukraine. Thank you for watching. Have a great weekend. Learn the truth and stay informed. See you later.